DIY project. We're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Neva Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Neva Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
SL Horseford's Company Limited gets it done Father's Day weekend sale and wellness fair. This Father's Day, celebrate the healthy dad who builds it, drives it, fixes it, grills it, rolls it, paints it, tiles it, and gets it done. It's the SL Horseford's Company Limited gets it done Father's Day weekend sale and wellness fair. For 3 days, June 18th to June 20th, enjoy a massive 25% off store-wide on all discountable items at participating locations. Shop Horseford's Building Center, Horseford's Neva Center, Horseford's Furniture and Appliances, Ashley Furniture Home Store, Horseford's Auto Spares, Parts and Accessories, and Builder's Paradise. Plus get double cashback coupons on all higher purchases. And on Saturday, June 20th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., bring Dad to the Wellness Fair at Horseford's Building Center in St. Kitts and Horseford's Neva Center. Spoil Dad, save big, shop smart, stay healthy. The Gets It Done Father's Day Weekend Sale and Wellness Fair, only at SL Horseford's Company Limited. For the dad who gets it done. Don't miss it.
Horseford is the one. Get it done.
A pleasant good day to you and yours. The time is 3 minutes moving away from the 10 o'clock hour, and welcome to another presentation of Inside the News with myself and the one and only Mr. Chesley Hamilton. Good day to you, sir.
Good morning, Quint. Good morning to the listening audience, wherever they are. On the broad online, good morning. On this eve of Father's Day, I want to deal with the lighter side of the news.
Okay.
I want to deal with the weather and sports, whether it's the World Cup or West Indies cricket.
The World Cup is not a light side. This it's a very
I
controversial.
don't want to be dealing with the wars and the
No,
and the
not
bomb dropping and
not
those
the
sort of
wars.
things.
We're talking about World Cup. World Cup is a
Yes.
whole big chaos.
Yes, yes. So I want to deal with the sports and the weather. Not that the weather is the lighter side of the news with this drought and so on, but I want to deal with that aspect of the news as opposed to what normally comes, make the headlines and come first. So I am saying that, but where I want to start, and I know this may get me into some trouble, but I want to start with you playing the Horsford's ad, and then that will get me into Father's Day. And what I want to say, kindly, it may put me in some boiling oil, not even boiling water, but could you play the Horsford's ad for me, and then I'll get right into what I have to say about Father's Day.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Neva Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Neva Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Neva Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
There was one that dealt with Father's Day.
Well, I wouldn't know because how I see them.
The last one.
No,
you
that
played
how
in-
it
in-
goes,
in the
right?
group. Yeah.
All I see is the Hosford ad, and then Simeon
That's the normal
rotates
one.
them.
But you have one that dealing with a
But what I'm
Father's Day
saying is,
promotion.
I
But that's
wouldn't
okay.
know. I wouldn't know. We just see Hosford.
yeah.
Simeon is the one that juggles the different ones, so I don't know what is going to play
Yeah,
at what time.
just before we came on, there was one that played, and I wanted to deal with that one because it dealt with, for Father's Day you can get this, that, and so on, and a grill and so forth, and it prompted me to say, here we advertising that you can get tools and grill and so on when it comes to Father's Day. Now let's flip the coin. What if for Mother's Day we were to advertise some of the quote unquote utensil machinery or whatever that mothers, you hear what I say, mothers use,
Yeah.
whether around the house or in their profession, it will cause an outrage. You understand? And that is what I want to show people. Not that what is good for the goose is good for the gander. If it's bad, it's bad. If it's wrong, it's wrong. No matter if you flip the gender, no matter if you flip the race, no matter if you flip, these sort of things. That is how you look at things and critique what is being done. And therefore, you're not going to say that I could get a dishes set or a cooking set or a sewing set or a washing machine and dryer set or any of those sort of things, because then I will be told that I'm sexist and I'm this and I'm that. Well, how are you now advertising grill and tools?
Why would you be told that? I want you to elaborate. I want you to elaborate a little bit as why
I
you
am
think
simply saying because you're being parochial. You're pigeonholing that only certain gender does certain things, and therefore you are asked when you're dealing with gifts for a person that you buy personal things, not things that they use in general for the household. So therefore you buy jewelry, you buy you make it specific to the person. Now let's flip the coin. You're not advertising that come in and get a nice chain or a nice watch or something like that. For dad, you're talking about tools and things that he's going to do around the house or on his job. And therefore, I am simply saying the neutrality of the messaging, right? And I know people don't like the word the politically correct, because it's not a matter of being politically correct. I am simply saying, when you're talking about messaging and you're trying to raise children to understand what you're trying to communicate, you cannot in one instance want me to be, listen to this, gender neutral, but when it comes to you using the same language, when it comes to race, you're using black to mean bad, white to mean good, red to mean something else, and yellow to mean, like yellow dog contract, yellow fever, and that sort of thing. So you're chromatically incorrect. I am simply saying you have to be vigilant when you're in mass communication to communicate appropriate messages.
And I'm going to elaborate a bit, because you were being the typical lawyer. With all your explanation, it's still kind of vague, But I'm going to get straight to it. A lot of women do not want to go the route of what you just explained, because they're going to say, "Oh, all you feel is that we're supposed to be in the kitchen."
Yeah,
that is what.
in the kitchen.
Just barefoot and in the kitchen, right?
Yes.
But here is it. It seems as if though a lot of women present day are not proud of being in the kitchen, it seems, but men are proud of the tools thing. You understand? We have a bit of a disconnect here, because even though I hear what you're saying and you're right, there's a problem, because men don't. When I hear about tools, I feel good, because you want to be a handyman. I keep buying tools all the time. Some of them I put down for when I need them. But women, a lot of women today, why is it that they don't want to? We're not saying all of you should be in the kitchen, and that is what Chesley is saying. But why is it if we were to do an ad and say you can get household utensils and blah, 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 some of them might have a problem with it, when we don't have a problem with the tools thing?
Well, I'm just showing you different people embrace different things, and it is how the message is being received, and that is why I am quick and want to flip the other side of messaging. And I'm not saying one is right and one is wrong.
Yeah.
Two things could be right at the same time, and two things could be wrong at the same time. And people don't understand that. What I want to do is to broaden the universal discourse and show flip side and alternative sides and alternative realities. And that's all I'm trying to do in this universal discourse. And that is broadening the message. And when I come here, I always say, I don't come here just to entertain. I come to educate and entertain. and that is important. You use things as a teachable moment.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that if that is the specific audience you want to go after, you want to get your grill and your tools and these kind of things sold, because that is the handyman around the house, go for it, because you're going to promote and you're going to get sales and so on. I am simply saying, when you do that, you are reinforcing certain stereotypes, and then you then cry foul when you when you raise a generation that believes in the same stereotypes.
Yeah.
So you have to know what you are saying. I remember one day being in court and saying to a magistrate, you teach children about Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and so on, the Three Bears. And what the Three Bears did, break into people's house and stole. So when we teach somebody that in infancy, and they grow up, and they go in somebody's house and take up, you're the one who taught them that in school.
That is why Sparrow said, if I was bright, I would have been a damn fool.
Amen. Now you move from that, and Jack and the Beanstalk, I think it is.
Yeah.
Jack goes up, steal the people them thing,
Steal the most prized possession from
right?
the giant.
Run out with it, climb back down the thing, and when the man come to regain whatever he eating, he cut down the tree and murder the man. Murder the man.
And it was glorified because the man was a threat. But
Oh, well,
the man wasn't a threat before.
Self-defense now.
The man wasn't a threat. Look, they didn't even know about him before Jack found out his place.
I am just showing you. These are the things you inculcate from an early age. You get the adrenaline flowing in young kids. This is all the things you teach them. And then when they come up and emulate or want to be, get a high out of doing something similar, what you do to them? You put them in jail and say that they're supposed to know right from wrong and better. And that they're not supposed to do it. But you are the one who raised them doing these things.
But you don't realize that most of the pictures, as long as you're the star, you can do anything. You can rob, you can rape, you can cheat, you can steal, you can do whatever, just as long as you're the star.
You know?
Yeah.
And this is what we feed. And what is the moral of the story? You always used to hear that. What's the moral of the story? You know? What is the moral of the story?
But you know, Chesley, I never looked at it like that. And even though I am a kind of a deep person, hearing you say it and you look at it and you realize where we have been ingraining in our children these things, you're seeing it every day, bombarded with it every day. But yet still, when you go into a court system now, they penalize you for the very same thing.
Yep. I grew up with Peter Tosh saying if you teach a child to the tie gun, what you expect it to do when he become a man?
Yeah.
So I listened to that. Tash and Marley and seriously my teachers.
Yeah, Jimmy Cliff and those fellows.
I took what they were saying as literature, as poetry.
Yeah.
I listened to Sparrow, I listened to the Charters, I listened to these people. The oral traditions of my culture taught me a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I am saying that to say, you ain't got to read Dan is the man in the van and the cow jump over the moon, or they run away with the spoon, as Sparrow said, if he would have been an educated ASS. You understand? And this is the sort of thing. Somebody made millions of dollars selling you those books. Selling you those books to miseducate your children.
But watch here, Mr. Chesley Hamilton. Yeah? I'm gonna show you where it is still being used today. Recently, we've heard Donald Trump come out and admit that the U.S. is on the verge of financial collapse. He actually admitted that. But here is why the rest of the world didn't believe all along, because they were listening and watching BBC, CNN, NBC, all those stations that were pushing a lie. You understand? And we live in a society where instead of individual listening to things from a rational point of view, they listen to things from a popular point of view. And so these stations, the CNN and the BBCs, they're popular. They're the stations. So we feel that popular means truth. So all the time you listen to Hegseth and you listen to Marco Rubio telling you about bombing and this and that kind. And there were other medias telling you no. And I came on radio and I said, the U.S. is going to fall itself in a problem with this same thing that they're using about they have all this oil reserve. You understand? People don't live in a realistic world, Mr. Hamilton.
Donald Trump said they were 4 weeks away from total chaos.
That's what I'm saying. And I there's a particular individual, I'm sure he might be listening, and he was one who was adamant, not that he's foolish or ignorant, but because he bought into what the mass media was saying. I don't buy into, look, when I get here, Mr. Chesley Hamilton, I'm not trying to prove a point. I'm not trying to be popular. I'm not trying to prove that I'm right, that I know it all. I come here and I speak things because I do my research. You understand? And I don't come here and speak from. People tend to say, recently I've been here, well, Quint likes to express his point of view. I don't just express my point of view. My point of views are based on fact. I play the clips but they don't listen to the clips and realize that what I'm saying relates to the clip I play.
I am not a pretentious person, Quint. I ran for office 3 times. I was unsuccessful 3 times. There were many people who come and say, Bakalika, buy me a beer and I'll vote for you. And say, those two things don't go in the same sentence. If you want me to buy your beer, but I'm not buying your beer for you to vote for me. You understand? Because somebody will offer you 2 beers. And therefore, I'm not in that. If you want me to buy your beer, and I want to buy your beer, I'll buy your beer. But I'm not buying your beer to vote for me. Those 2 things. And let me tell you something. I want you to go out and vote. But the truth is, you wouldn't believe, I don't care who you vote for.
Yeah.
I want you to participate, but I want you to be educated when you participate.
That's it.
You know, and I would also tell you the right to vote includes the right not to vote.
Yeah.
So, and I will tell people these things. Maybe that's why I didn't win.
Yeah.
But nobody out there could say something differently about me.
Yeah.
That is the message I took to people. I said, let me tell you something. I am not in this because I am looking at promotion. I'm looking at status. I am simply saying to you, to whom much is given, much is expected.
Yeah.
God has blessed me so that I could afford to give back. The difference between myself and Denzel Douglas, as I used to say, is that I believe I have better policies than him. I have policies that are going to help the society and the community at large. I believe that his policies are in favor of friends, family, and foreigners. That's what I used to say. Everything began there with an F. You know, friends, family, and foreigners. I want to empower local people, and I used to give examples of how I want to do that. That was my message. It was just a message that nobody would believe or gravitate to or doubt. There was much doubt that anybody would want to do that.
Chesley,
that altruistic or being that. And I used to tell people, listen to me. If I alone I have income.
You want to take any calls yet?
Yes. And, but it's me, myself, and my friends and everybody in my community. We all have. I have wealth, and I want to be wealthy.
Okay, we have a caller. Hello,
Certainly.
caller.
Yes, good morning to you, gentlemen.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
To you both. Good morning, man. Good morning to you, Hamilton, man. How you, man?
I'm
Good
well.
morning to you too, bro. Yeah, good morning to you guys. Good morning to the listening public. And happy Father's Day to you both and to all the fathers out there. You know, I just want to say to you two gentlemen, like Quint, I know Quint is a realist. You know, and just keep pushing whatever you stand for, man. Because I'm out here doing the same. You know, life is a journey. We learn from each other and stuff like that. But yeah, man, the ads them that's running, I guess you're trying to point out, don't be sexist because yeah, the woman that might say, don't be sexist in the ads to the stores them and the person for marketing their products and their services. You know, like you say, it's Father's Day. Yeah, why are we not hearing come to hospital and buy a pot set? You know, the women them might think that we are along that line still where we are holding them to being in the kitchen, but we're not like that anymore, man. Things have evolved, and we have evolved. And I can speak for myself, and I know you two gentlemen have evolved. We don't have that type of ideas in our head anymore.
But Burl, I'm a man.
Yeah.
I'm a man. I can cook. I know my way around the kitchen. But I also, if I have a woman, I don't mind seeing her in the kitchen sometimes. I mean, I'm the kind of man, if I walk into my house and I go to the kitchen and I see my woman and I can have a sort of a visual in my mind as to my woman and she's in the kitchen cooking, to me that is becoming. That is, I gravitate towards I don't want her to be in the kitchen all the time. You understand? But why is it that women just feel we only want them in the kitchen? Or the kitchen and the bedroom. That's what they say. Barefooted in the kitchen or in the bedroom. Yeah.
Then
I'm
then,
gonna
then
just
somebody's
put
going to talk about
I'm gonna put
juicers and blenders and so on. You know.
equipment. They got the equipment now. So cooking comes easy. But I'm gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna put it out there. From my personal experience being in this country called USA, two things, man. Once these women hear that accent you got, it's a plus for you. Number two, when they start coming around and they notice the Caribbean man can cook, second plus. And I can leave that right there.
A woman told me one day, bro, right? She said, Chesley, if you're going to sell me a fish lunch for $20, you see how long ago that was? Because you can't really get a fish lunch now for $20.
No.
She said to me, if you're going to give me a fish lunch for $20, I will give you the $20 every day. I said, wow, I never thought of it that way. It's a woman told me that, you know. Mind you, it's not that she can't cook. It's not that she cannot cook. But she said, I have more use for my time as a businesswoman than to go and cook a meal. If I could give you $20, I'm going to see a meal. And I said, wow.
Yeah.
I said, wow.
Yeah.
And you know what I said after that? I have to start cooking more often with my wallet.
But hear this, Chesley. Then we wonder why there's a breakdown in the family, because the home and the cooking are, like I said, not all the time. Because if I'm involved with a woman, and most of the women I've been with, which have not been a lot, I can count them on one hand, they can cook. You understand? I remember there was one particular one, my second children's mother, and she couldn't cook, and I taught her. Understand?
Yeah.
And she reached the point where, but that is how a family comes together. You understand? It's the
That's it.
I'm in the kitchen sometime, you're in the kitchen sometime, we communicate. You think if I come home and I see my woman in the kitchen cooking, I might go in and say, how you doing, babe? I'm going to get close to her, and whenever I can, I might touch. You understand what I'm saying? There's a communication going there. But people don't see that.
The interaction and the family eating around whether on the kitchen table or the dining room table. There are lots of that are missing. You know, the kids take up the food and they're gone up in the bedroom or they're gone elsewhere. You know, there is no community, there is no commune, you know, there's no fellowship.
Yeah.
And more, that is needed. And then you wonder, well, why when they go out, they don't know how to use a knife and fork, or they don't know which fork to use first.
Which
things like that.
hand to hold the knife in and that kind of stuff.
Which hand to hold the knife in,
yeah. So
but like Prince says, you know, he's not afraid to yield to the lady in the kitchen, and he's happy to see that happen. But we're also not scared to be helpers either. You know what I mean?
No,
a
real man helps his woman.
That's it.
In every way that he can.
And Bull, a real man helps his woman by sometimes cooking with his wallet too. Going out for dinner.
Yeah.
You understand? I am just saying. It's all encompassing. It's not about just seasoning the meat. It's not about seasoning the meat or help her pour the pasta or help her with the salad. Sometimes you need to get away from the kitchen altogether for both of you.
It's a variety.
Both of you and say, boy, listen to me, let's go and grab a steak.
That's it, yeah.
Honey, give me that shopping list. I'm gonna run through Rams and get some saltfish and some
I'm just simply saying it is an interactive approach. But if somebody want to do all the cooking, I don't mind. But if the person want a break from some of the cooking, I could step up, and it doesn't mean I'm going to step up and cook your meal. I could step up and buy your meal. I'm just showing you they have different ways of skinning, as we just say, skinning the same cat or painting the same thing.
So Chesley, are you suggesting that you can't cook?
The issue is.
I'm just
The issue is. I can cook.
I'm trying.
Oh,
I'm
no,
just.
no, no, no,
I'm
no.
trying
I
to
can
be
cook.
devil's advocate.
Hold
here.
on. I keep saying that, But I can cook, but I don't like to cook.
Okay, I hear you. A lot
You-
of
you
individuals
understand?
are like that.
I can cook, but I don't like to cook. And,
Okay.
and it came from when I was growing up. When we were growing up, because my brother is older than I am, I'm the second, and the two girls came after. My mother taught my brother to do everything, including baking and so forth. When came my time, I used to season meat, I used to put things in the oven and so on. She started teaching me. Then she accelerated teaching her first daughter. And I just kind of eased myself
Out of it, yeah.
You understand? Then her last daughter, she taught her what she needed to do and so on. Then there was rotation.
Yeah.
The rotation was the two boys, we had to wash up the dishes. When time came for the girls to wash up the dishes, somehow there was a no towards that. And I
Yeah.
said, no, that ain't fair. I had to do it when they were young.
Yeah.
Now it's daytime. I can wash, cook, sew, iron, do all of those things.
Yes.
What I don't like to do, and because of the, listen what I come back to, the washing up of the dishes. Because of that, I don't like the kitchen.
Okay, I hear
And,
you.
and yes, you're going to say there's washing machine, there's this washing machine, there is this, but it just put a bad feeling about me.
because-
no, my
because-
mother, on the other hand, by the time she finished cook, she finished washing up everything, So there's no dishes to wash up.
Yeah, yeah.
So she used and she washed up at the same time. Me, because there was this practice of the dishes and the pots and the washing up,
Yeah.
and I was labeled or burdened with it.
And
I stay out
also,
of the kitchen altogether.
and also because it was a bit unfair because you
Ah.
said the girls were there
Okay.
wasn't equity there. You
Right.
understand?
But-
and
but-
and
but-
that
but-
brings
but-
up
but-
another.
But when,
that
when it
bring-
comes to doing
wait.
laundry on my hand, ironing, sewing, I could sew. I could do all of those things. Cleaning, I did all of those things.
Yes.
But because of that relationship and that piece of, it sounds funny. But sometimes you hold on to just that one bit of unfairness.
Yeah, I could understand
and,
it.
and disassociate yourself
I could
from other
understand.
things.
I could understand it.
And that is what caused it. And it wasn't. And I'll go further. My mother cooked on Sunday. Monday became my day because that means I'm heating up what left over from Sunday.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
And then my brother the next day, then the sisters. So by the time Friday and Saturday come, there were there was nothing to do, or Saturday seasoning the meat for Sunday again, and I will do that.
Yeah.
So I'm just telling you how the rotation went. So
Yeah.
I can cook.
Yeah, I
mean,
assume
I
you
can
could,
cook,
you know,
I can-
because most of
I mean,
most of
I know
us
what
from
it is
that
to-
era can.
I know what it is to season a nice salmon.
Yeah.
And get the oven at 320 in terms of temperature, and put that salmon in the oven for 20 minutes, and it's pink and it's nice and it's ready to go. But I don't do it.
Yeah.
Because once you start with one meal, then you want to do 2 and 3 and 4. Next thing you're controlling the entire kitchen, and I'm not subjected myself to it.
Yeah,
So
Burl,
Chesley, let me ask you a
No,
quick
now the
question.
cat is out of the bag. Why I don't do it now?
yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you a quick question. Which oven you're talking about, man? The modern oven or the old stone oven? How you know when it's 350 in that old stone oven, man? Where you got to put that wood in there?
Interestingly enough, I have an old stone oven built into my house at home. I know you didn't know
Yeah,
that.
they got one. There was one right in front of my father's house, man.
And I built my kitchen. I bought it to my kitchen. You understand? The issue is that I haven't started up to bake some bread or anything like that. But hey, there are ways of there are ways of knowing what temperature.
Yeah, it's about it's a familiarity and feel.
Yeah.
When you're doing something,
Yeah,
I reach the point where I cook. I usually don't taste, because I know put in a bit of this and
A
put
dash
in
of that and a dash of
Yeah.
this, right?
And again, one of the things about seasoning is that you never want anything to be too salt. So it's just moderate. You understand? And then people can always add their flavor, their salt and pepper or whatever. But I was kind of different though because I was my mother's oldest child.
Ah, see?
No one taught me how to cook, but because my stepfather could cook, I kind of gravitated towards it because I saw an example of a man in the house who could cook. So I learned to cook by watching him, and by the time they found out I could cook, then I got all the responsibility.
That is what I keep running from.
But I loved cooking. Here's what I didn't love though, just like you, I always hated washing dishes. But I learned this, just like your mother did. If you wash as you use, this is what I do up to now. So you never leave. This is when you leave the thing and they pile up. When you look at it, it's discouraging looking at all those dishes.
Wonderful.
But if you wash as you go,
No. I'm going to ask both of you something.
Yeah.
You all blend your seasoning, or you all pound your seasoning like
I blend.
You blend.
Yeah.
I really don't like blend seasoning. That is one of those things. I like to get the synergy where you use the pistol and the mortar, with your herbs, your thyme, your garlic. I like to pound them. I like that synergy better than the blending.
Okay, Ball, you?
I mean, I was, I'm in the American system, man. So the seasoning,
you blend too.
I just use the seasoning individually.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? But I try to be in moderation, like Quint says. But anyway, when I was a youth growing up there in Cottonville, man, it was like today, I'm the one responsible for putting them wood in the oven and boiling the wood down, pushing the wood out the back. And I'm by my mother fat tail. So
I come from a family of bakers, Bull. So I know how to do that. I know how to fan a coal pot and so on. I know all of those things. Trust me.
And those old-fashioned ways, man, it sure did work, man. Because we turned out to be some great men, man. And let me make 2 points before I get off. As we go back to the discussion, right, the fundamentals of how we raising our kids and what we are letting them see, and what we teaching them, what they're seeing as they grow. It's a whole different breed of generation we're going to produce next time around. And this is something we got to be careful with because the kids they're picking up a lot of negativity early and earlier. And we wasn't raised like this at all, Chesley. And the fish seems like stinks from the head right now because when we spin this off into the politics that's going on in St. Kitts and Nevis, it doesn't really look good at all, man. It don't look good at all. And lastly, I'm going to say there is a clip, and Quint can probably relate to this, right? It was a clip with a lady, I think her name was Colleen Lawrence, with the premier up at Gingerland at the town hall meeting about the Destiny Project. And the word rumor came up and the word lies came up. So the only thing I want to ask and put out there is Destiny still a rumor? And we can reference that clip. And when we reference that clip, I'm understanding that they're actually playing with that clip right now. They're trying to edit it because it made the premiere look so bad, it ain't funny. And we can just reference that clip individually, and then we are going to ask ourselves the question, is this the type of leaders we want to hold these offices? I'm going to leave that there for today, man. You guys have a good day, and happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day to you too, man.
Same to you. We're going to take a bit of a commercial break, Chesley, and we'll be right back.
No problem.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Come, build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers. We don't just sell materials, we help you build your dreams. Whether it's a new home, a renovation, or a DIY project, we're here to make it happen. That's why we say, build with us. From foundation to finish, come to our stores where we have the best in building materials, hardware, tools, paints, expert advice, and more. Whatever you need, you can count on us. So if you're ready to get started, build with us. With Hostels Building and Nevis Centers, you're not just building a structure, you're building a future. Let us help you create something amazing. Dream with us, plan with us, grow with us, build with us. Come build with us at Hostels Building and Nevis Centers today. Build with us at Hostels.
Jamrock Restaurant and Bar presents Jerk Fest, home of jerk, Saturday, 27th June from 10 a.m. It's all going down at Jamrock Restaurant at Frigate Bay. Featured dishes: jerk fish, mutton, chicken, shrimp, pork, ribs, conchs, pigtail, hot dog, and rabbit.
What's up, Doc?
Entertainment by DJ Flames and the Foreplay Band. Sides, roasted breadfruit, sweet potatoes, yams, festival, and garlic bread. So remember to check out Jerk Fest, Saturday 27 June, starting at 10 a.m. at Jamrock Restaurant, Frigate Bay, home of Jerk.
And we're back. The time 10:40. Right back to you, Mr. Chesley Hamilton.
Yes, Quint, I'm going to go to second topic, which is the annual rainfall. I listened to a news item which said that we only receive 56% of the annual rainfall that we're accustomed to have, something like 8 point something inches of rain, and we normally have more than 15 at this point in time. And with all the wildfires that we've been having and the Saharan dust and the dryness and the lack of rainfall, it has been serious. And I just want to encourage people to, no matter what the government is doing, to when they're building their homes, whether it's under the porch, if you don't have a basement and so on, put it in a cistern. Put it in a cistern. I mean, we might not be Antigua or Anguilla or whatever, but I think we need to start building resilience into our homes.
Yeah.
Don't wait for the government. Don't wait for a handout. Don't wait for them. Please, please, think it through. A lot of us, we follow suit. We follow suit a lot. We copycat a lot. So somebody build a house this way, you want a house built that way. Or somebody have a townhouse, you want a townhouse too. In the neighbor build the fence, you got to go have your fence the same way too. I am simply saying, think for yourself. Think for yourself. A cistern gonna serve you better than many of the things that other people are adding to their homes. People are fencing their yard today to fence out themselves, to fence out their neighbor, to fence out everybody. And fencing costs a lot of money sometimes. I know you want your privacy, but people are building fence, they're not even building some place to park their cars. They build a garage and it's too much trouble to drive the car in because you got to reverse. And people ain't want to go and reverse and close gate and all these kind of things. Nobody thinking by maybe into the front of my yard I must build something to come out, pull up and drive out. Nobody thinking of these things. Your neighbor had a garden into the front of the yard, so you want a garden too. You understand? A flower garden. I mean, back in the days of the nice flower garden, many of the people didn't have cars. You understand? So maybe you need to now think of relocating the flower garden and building some place to park your car so that you could pull off the street, because then everybody park on the street and then people can't pass, or you're worried that somebody gonna hit your car out there. think, 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 think. I say it 7 times because I believe sometimes repetition reinforces it. Think of what you really need. And I'm saying you need a system more than a lot of things.
We have a caller.
Yes.
Hello, caller.
Yes, good day to everybody.
Good day, Gregory. How are you doing?
Good day. Blessed in the name of Jesus Christ. And greetings once more in the name of Jesus Christ, the only Savior of sinners from their sins and from hell. By the gospel only, true faith only, according to the Bible only, in Jesus only. Also, we need to become a republic and get out the British Commonwealth. Now, and other issues. First of all, I have been saying over the years on WinFM and also on other stations when I used to call into them, that when we continue to do things the biblical way, we are only continuing going down the road of destruction and ruin, both locally, regionally.
I think you need to re-say what you just said. I think you said it wrongly, but go ahead.
He made a mistake.
I know you made a mistake, so go ahead.
Okay. Yes.
So repeat what you want to say.
I hope I get it right this time.
Yeah.
I have said where over the years, when I used to call in on other radio stations, and now that I'm basically just calling in on WinFM only, I have said in the past over and over again, and will continue to say in the present, that when we continue to do things that goes against the Bible way.
Okay, now you got it right.
Yes. Yes, that goes against the Bible way. Thank you very much for the correction. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
That we will only continue to be going down the road of destruction and ruin locally, internationally, and also regionally. Now, so said, so done, and it's no surprise our economy is in a mess. Our regional economies are in a mess, and the international economies, including but not limited to America, are also in a mess, and they're getting worse and worse. And not only that, with Trump, when Trump said that, I think Quinn said in 4 weeks things will get a lot worse, basically, to paraphrase.
He was speaking about the oil crisis, and
right.
He had to finally admit, because you see, Greg, this is what their intention was, and this is what the West has done for 400 years. This is why people must know their history. Their intent was to go bombard Iran, kill a lot of people, instill fear in them, let them give up, capitulate, and then America and the West gets all the spoils. But it didn't happen that way. Iran had plans in place so that even though you went in and you killed their leader and that kind of stuff, because they felt that you just go, like in the days of the Indians and their propaganda back then, you just kill the Indian chief and everybody else. But that wasn't true. They didn't just kill the Indian chief and win. That was propaganda that they were giving us. They were using smallpox in the blankets, doing all kind of thing. Even some of these white individuals were dressing up as Indians, killing their own people to incite. It's a lot of things they were doing to the Indians. But it backfired on them. They felt that if they had just gone, this is what Hexek was saying. And recently he was saying it to Mr. Chesley Hamilton. We win by bomb, and but you weren't fooling the world. So go ahead, Greg.
Yes, well, Trump had to give in to all of their demands, including giving Iran, I forget how many billions of dollars to repair the physical damage that they did to Iran. That's one of the demands Trump had to give in to. You see, and the reason why Trump had to give in to this, as Quinn said, Trump had said by maybe next 4 weeks, things going to get a whole lot worse. And the reason behind that is because the reason why the oil prices have not risen a whole lot more than they have at the present is because Trump, like Biden, Trump was depleting the oil reserves in America
Yeah.
to put it on the market
That's it.
to keep the prices artificially low. But they only had about maybe 4 summer weeks left.
Yeah.
So that's why Trump said what he said. And
And
that
when
is why
and
he
and
had to
Greg
give in to.
and Greg, when I was saying this long ago, a lot of people listened to me and felt, boy, he's a fool. Listen, Quint, where he don't get his information from? As if I'm the kind of person who just speaks because I can speak. Go ahead.
Yes, yes. And this is the thing that when you only listen to the corporate and major media, you don't get this other aspect.
That's it.
And what happened is that Trump realized that, hey, if the oil reserve deplete completely, which we have just about maybe 4 summer weeks before that, that is when the real crisis would have hit.
Yeah.
And you would have seen the real cost of what oil is supposed to be on the market.
Yeah.
Which is a whole lot more than it is. And that would have caused a hell of a crisis in America and on the world.
But hear this, Greg. Here's another thing they weren't telling the world. Even during that period when they were using their reserves and that kind of stuff, a lot of Trump's friends and the people associated with him made billions of dollars, you know. They were only concerned with a minority making billions of dollars with the oil going up and going down and fluctuating. But Trump realized, and he didn't realize this on his own, you know. People were telling him all along, but he was being ignorant. He was listening to Netanyahu over there in Israel and listening to the neophytes, as they call them, you know. And eventually he realized, boy, no, this is going to come to a head. So he had to go and capitulate.
He had to. He had no choice. And that is also reflected in the fact that he had to give in to all of Iran's demands, including, I forget how much, but I think it's $200 billion or something like that he had to compensate Iran with for the destruction that they did in Iran, where the physical bombing and so is concerned. So how is that a win? And Trump, that ain't no win. It's Iran win.
Yeah.
No. To a more controversial issue, though. A more controversial issue that does get people in a tizzy. A woman's place is really in the home. That's supposed to be her place in the home.
Wow.
No, it ain't just about being in the kitchen. It's about bringing up the children properly in the fear and admonition of the Lord. It is about avoiding being gossips. It is about not being slanderers, going about here and there, being slanderers, including in the offices. It's about avoiding adultery as much as possible. Not that those things can happen if she in the home, no. The Bible is not saying that those things can happen if she in the home, but you're lessening the chances and risk of these things happen once that person is a godly woman. If you ain't godly, of course, you're going to always find occasion to do these things. But as the saying goes, the Bible, as the adage says, the devil find work for idle hands to do. And because women more and more now in the workplace, I believe you find more and more adultery being committed, more and more families being broken down. As you turn over the children to people to take care of, they're not being given the love and teaching, and especially the proper biblical teaching that the godly mother is supposed to be doing to her children, and so on and so on. And you find that these things, whether we like it or not, is causing a tremendous continual breakdown in society. Also, Proverbs 31 shows you it is okay for a woman to do business with her home being the headquarters, not out building up some man or some woman business and your home suffering as a result. But you're going to go in business, which Proverbs 31, the virtuous woman does, it's your headquarters is your home. So all of that is what is meant by the woman's place, according to the Bible, is in her home. And that includes pleasing her husband as well, not just in the kitchen. Okay? It's a whole lot of activities to do in the home. As a matter of fact, there's another adage that says, the hand that rock the cradle rules the world. Okay?
Yeah.
It is a privilege. It's a great privilege being a mother.
Yeah.
Great privilege.
I realize Chesley seems to want to chime in, so.
Yes.
No. I guess Sheba's headquarters was the home. This is a topic I will try and take up with you at another time. Your stance could be seriously controversial, but I listen, and I love listening people's perspective and hearing them out.
Well, before we move on from that, though, let me say this. When I was very young, because I'm the kind of person, when I was very young, long before I reached the point where I was sexually attracted to women, you understand? When I was 8, 9, 10 going up, I looked around at the environment that I was in, my mother, my father-in-law, and as children tend to do, I kind of wondered, what would I do when I became a man? How would I want my woman to be? And because most of the examples I saw at the time were women at home, I kind of bought into that, right? I said, when I became a man, I would want my woman to be home, but as reality hit me when I began to get older, because you see, life is a progression, and you must be able to morph and look at life and see how you're going to fit into it to survive. And I realized that, hey, with the way the finances of the world was going, I wasn't going to be able to do this on my own. If I could get a woman who could go out there and help to contribute, it would make life better. But at the same time, I didn't want her to completely abdicate her responsibilities to the home. You understand? So men and women have to find a way to do, as Chesley will say, you walk on your chew gum at the same time. Two things can be right. But the problem is that we want to just be stagnant in one thing. Okay, women want their liberation. So yes, go and get your liberation, but completely exempt yourself from the home. No, that is why we're having the breakdown.
And Quinn,
I remember. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm going to tell you something, and so many people are going to say, Chesley, you're not telling the truth. Mm-hmm. I was different. Mm. Who was one of the most popular and successful women when I was growing up? Elizabeth II. Mm. And what was Elizabeth II doing? She was traveling the world, and she had governors and governors looking after her children. Mm. So I basically saying, me ain't got a problem if a governor or whoever is raising my child. So I used to think differently.
Well, yeah.
It is interesting. And somebody going to tell me, Chachi, you couldn't be thinking about that. That is exactly what I used to say.
But I don't disbelieve you, because this is the problem we find ourselves in. We think everybody must think the same way.
Right, and I used to say, Mommy ain't got no problem if governors and, you could call them nanny, you could call them au pair, you could call them whatever they want, babysitters, looking after my children.
Yeah.
Because if Elizabeth was traveling the world, doing her duty, why my wife, my woman can't travel the world successfully doing whatever she's doing? Yeah. And I being her consort.
Yeah, well,
Hold on. Let's take it to the right end.
Yeah.
Why I can't be her consort? Why I can't be her house husband?
Well...
But you see, but the thing is, Queen Elizabeth, for example, they never used to really rear their kids, they had all kind of...
Well, that is basically what I'm saying. So I am simply saying, if you're successful enough...
Yeah, and look at it, the royal family full of scandal.
I know everything that has some good has some bad. They're balanced. I am not even talking about that. But I'm talking about, what do you aspire to?
Well, I
Quint is
take it.
talking to about when he look at the examples in his life, his mother and so on,
Yeah.
and he aspired to
Yeah.
certain things. So what motivates you? What are you aspiring to? What are you trying to attain?
Yeah.
And I used to look beyond my present circumstances
Yeah.
in my whatever ambition or wishing or whatever. And I used to say, if they could be successful doing that, then Chesley could be successful doing this.
I agree. And hear this, Chesley. I don't think the Queen Elizabeth is a good example.
I know, but I'm just
I
showing you, I give you
hear-
an example
Yeah.
that other people can relate to.
From here, from
The
your,
royal family is not a good example.
from Chesley's point of view, here's where I agree with him, because he's speaking about his interpretation of seeing a woman doing that and the impression it had on him, right? But so that is what we understand, Chesley, and we agree with you on that. But Lord, I mean,
But she's not a
she's
good
not a
example,
good
and the
example.
family
But
is
I'm
not
just
a good
showing you
example because
people
it's
are
not-
aware of
Yes,
her.
yes, yes.
So I could use that to get my message out.
because if you look at her history and the things that the monarchy
and
did
you could
to
look at the success of her children or the not lack of success of her children and the morals of them or whatever. I am just simply telling you, when people are out in the world or out in the limelight or in the spotlight, you could look at them and say, do I want that? If I don't want that?
Yeah.
It could be a tennis player, it could be a singer, it could be whatever you are, and you see a female who is successful and say, well, do I want any of that or no?
yeah. But Greg,
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 look how one of them were caught up in the Epstein issues among
Greg.
the many other scandals of the others.
yeah, Greg. Here's what I want people not to get it twisted. We understand Chesley's representation on his view that his view was that a woman could go out there and he compliment her in other ways, right? This is his view, and so take that away from
It's
the
his view.
from
It is his view.
yeah, but
It's just that we have a
where
clash with some things. he's
where,
saying.
this is why, Chesley, we can't just let it go. We hear that part, but we can't just let it go because the things that Queen Elizabeth did in terms of the chaos that she created around the world,
Yes.
when she sent people like, to be pirates and to do all kind of nonsense and the wealth of the British Empire and how they, and even how to the day,
It might have been Victoria, but go ahead.
yeah, well, I'm speaking about women. When I say she, I'm speaking about the women monarchies of the time, from Queen
right.
Isabella and blah 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 and all
Right,
of those,
right.
and coming down. I'm kind of putting them in a, and then remember she inherited from that. So this is what I'm.
Yeah, me inherit none of that. I'm
Yeah,
just simply saying
yeah.
to you, you just look at success
And we
and
hear
some of
that.
the trappings of success,
And we hear that. We agree with you on
and
that.
say, well, if I am supposed to aspire to even half as successful, why can't I have some of those trappings?
Yeah, yeah.
That's all I'm saying, you know.
And don't get me wrong, the Bible also shows us a very godly man like David and so on, who had children that were vagabonds and terrible people.
Well,
Yeah.
So-
that's why
so-
I brought
so-
up
so
Sheba
just
for
being-
you.
Yeah.
That's why I brought up
just
Sheba
being
for
a
you.
godly- Queen of Sheba?
Yeah, she was just as successful as Solomon or even more.
But my point is, just being a Christian is not enough. you need to be bringing up your children in the fear and admonition and discipline of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And you're saying that is the role of the woman?
I'm saying that is both the role of the mother and father,
Oh, okay.
but the woman the woman control the home part, which is really the hardest part, really.
And you see, Greg,
The father take care of the provision part and taking the lead in the teaching and guiding of the children, but the woman supposed to complement him. But she more away from the home. No, don't get me wrong. The Bible also shows that it ain't wrong for a woman to cash your beans and carry and so on, but
Yeah.
do it from your home as your headquarters.
but here is something that Greg said that people tend to miss sometimes, because he just said it, and it is true. When it comes to the home, women are supposed to be the head in terms of,
The manager, everything.
the running of the home. Not that she's the head of the household, but in
Right.
terms of the commercial aspects of how the home. Let's not deny it. When it comes to finances and juggling the finances of shopping and how you're gonna. Women are very, very good at that.
Balance what you all just say and tell me about the man is the head of the household and God is the head of whatever. Walk me through those things.
But also, keeping a home clean and so ain't easy, you know.
Yeah. It's a
But
it's
I'm
a
saying
job.
walk me
It's
through
a job in itself.
walk me through this thing about who is the head of the household and God is the head of whatever. Walk me through
The
that.
Bible said the man is the head of the woman, Christ is the head of the man, and God is the head of Christ.
Well, I don't agree with that because here's my. You see, I don't agree with all of the old-fashioned ways. I don't believe that the man is the head of the woman. I don't
Well,
believe.
that's why I said walk me through that in terms of what we're talking about.
At the same
Well,
time,
I believe in it.
I also don't believe the woman is the head of the man either. You understand? People have got to learn that thing called compromise and how you're going to juggle that compromising to run a household. There are times when I would let the woman lead because she's efficient in those things and she's better.
The word you use there is let, you know.
Yeah.
Why is there a let?
Well, because within my mind, I know she's better than me. So why?
Okay. I like how you define let.
Yeah. Why? Because I could try to fight it, but why fight it when I know she's better than me on certain things?
Yeah, but if you are delegating, that means you're some kind of head.
Yeah.
But also, Chesley.
Yes.
Also, another matter quickly, and this is the last one. What is your opinion, right? What is your legal opinion on the ruling that the Privy Council just made on Beard? I wrote it down on Beard versus Golga. What do you think that ruling? What do you think is the implication for the practice of law in St. Kitts and Nevis and the Caribbean? And what do you think of the ruling as a whole, in your legal opinion? Thank you very much. Appreciate your time.
Yeah. I'm not aware of that, so Chesley would have to.
I'm not aware of. I didn't hear what he said properly.
Said Beer versus some other person. Now, recently, the Privy Council made some kind of ruling.
I didn't hear exactly what he said, so I'll have to.
Well, Greg, you will have to. Greg, go and write it down on a paper and be more, elaborate a little bit more on that. Hello, caller. Hello, caller.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good day.
Good morning. Happy Father's Day when it comes.
Same. Yeah. Same here.
But Greg raised an issue which I just listened this morning to a discussion on men wanting the so-called traditional woman or wife that stays at home, etc., and looks after the home and so on. But at the same time, they want the income that comes with a working wife.
Woman, yeah.
So it's a case of they're not prepared to give up one for the other.
Yeah.
Okay, they want to have it both ways, and that's kind of
you can't have it both ways. Yeah.
Right.
You must be able. That is why I use the word compromise. You got to know it's a give and take here. You understand?
Or you go for one or the other.
Yeah.
You know, some people make a choice. I guess the religious people might make a choice and say, well, let the women stay at home, right, and follow the Bible to the letter, as Greg would have us do.
Yeah.
But then you know what you have to sacrifice for that, right? The thing is, what was said before, what Greg said before about women at home being less likely to commit things like adultery and those sorts of things. The evidence might bear that out, you know. I remember a friend who said he would absolutely not have a wife who is anybody's personal secretary or who works in a very close relationship with a man who is a professional, like let's say a doctor or a lawyer, or those kinds of professions that, because what he said was there is an inherent power dynamic.
And it's being reversed. And it's being reversed now with women being a lot of the job. Women are up at the higher echelon now. They're employing people, and women are now doing the same thing that men did.
No, but the thing is, if you're in the power dynamic of one person being, I won't say shooting the orders, but basically you're accustomed to doing what that person says. There is the inclination, there's the inclination to follow that to its natural progression.
And that is what I am agreeing with you, but I'm also saying that now that women are big executives and CEOs and whatnot, they are doing the same thing to men and to women.
Is that a fact?
Yes, it is happening. Women are, it's the same power dynamic. The power dynamic changes because it's a woman. The woman now is in a position where she hires Chesley Hamilton, and Chesley Hamilton knows he has to look out to her. She chose the order. She knows that he has a woman or he has a wife, but she is affectionate towards him, and she starts to use the power play just as men did it. It is happening.
Do you really think that they could get away with that, though? Because one thing that hasn't changed, I don't know if it might change in the future, but what hasn't changed is the fact that men are physically stronger than
It's not
women.
about physical strength.
Look, you all need
no.
to. Let me broaden the narrative.
Yeah.
Let me broaden the narrative, because you all are dealing with it like it's a one-lane highway, whether in the workplace or at home.
I'm not doing that. I was just broadening it too.
Let me broaden it. So you're telling me that the domestic female, whatever she is at home, looking at the gardener out there, sweating, laboring, muscles and showing, a vibrancy and a vitality that the executive male doctor, lawyer, whatever it is in an office ain't showing. Not somehow intrigue.
I am agreeing with you because Mr. McMahon, it's not about
that more adultery and sex and so on has happened.
Yes, it has.
Where that is the dynamic.
Yeah.
Where the so-called
you have to be realistic.
Male handyman, jack of all trades. In the close proximity of that virtuous woman?
There's so many stories of that.
Okay. All right. I just want to know.
Okay, yeah.
So once we get that as part of the part two,
yes,
of the dynamics, trust me, it happens at home.
Okay.
And it happens in the workplace.
So Chesley, let Mr. McMahon elaborate now from your perspective.
What I'm saying is, I understand that as part of the dynamic.
Yeah.
Just as I said about the fact that men are physically stronger than women has to factor in. There is, after all, the raw, natural sexual attraction.
That's it.
To that
male female attraction.
Men of it's physical.
Yeah.
Right. So but some other men might also succumb to the inherent the what seems to be the superior intellect of that executive who got there by her sheer intellect and intelligence and so on. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's intriguing for some men as well.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a lot. It's not as simple, I think, as Greg made it sound, that we can revert back to the bad old days when women essentially were workhorses at home, and it was almost as if
because here this, Mr. McMahon, a lot of us who are older can relate to this. Growing up where you would see a family and you would hear the shoo-shoo from the old elders that, boy, that middle one ain't look like the father. He look different. He look like that gardener, man. You understand? So
Exactly.
The fact is though, it is an occupational hazard. In the instance I described, it's carrying it to extreme to actually use that as a yardstick by which you choose a wife. But it's as what I think most parents would tell their teenage daughters, or if you don't want to get into a situation, don't put yourself in that situation.
But I disagree with that. Yes, it has merit when you hear it like that. For instance, recently when I relay some of the travails that I went through with my children mother, for instance, one time Chesley was there, he had a colleague on the other side, and he said, yeah, but we got to look at the women we get children with. I hear you, but how do we know? How do we know how things will play out in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years?
What do you mean by that?
Huh?
When you say you got to look at the women to get children with?
Because people have this thing in their minds that you can look at a woman, how she carries herself and maybe her family upbringing, and you say, okay, that's the woman I want to get children with. You can't do that. You never know. The same with men.
That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, it is in a sense a raffle or a...
Look, life, when we get older, we get wiser, and this is what I've come to realize. Life is a risk. Amen. You hope and you pray. I'm 60. I'm 66 years old. I've never cheated on any woman. You understand? I've never seen a woman with a man and wanted to take her away from that man. I believe if she's with a man and she wants to be with me, let me know you want to be with me. You understand? Let's make that decision. I don't want next thing, because I've seen it. You go, you're fighting against, you look and you think what you see and you say, boy, I want that woman and you fight and you get her, and next thing when you get her now, you realize he had some problems there that you might have better left alone. Maybe he is glad that you took her away from him. You understand? So
that's a really admirable foundational principle. I just wondered where you got that from. Was it biblical?
Because like I said, and Chesley said it too. We all grow up and we have different ways of looking at life. Chesley was looking at life, and Chesley was thinking, well, why can't my woman go out there and work? And you understand? And I was thinking, well, I don't want my woman to work. But then I evolved to the point where I said, well, look, we got to work because we're going to survive. Amen. This is what I did as a kid. And I did this, like I said, long before puberty hit in and I was sexually attracted to women. I was looking...
That's what I was getting at. I mean, how even at that age, how did you arrive that is what is going to work for you?
Okay, let me put it this way.
Because poverty is a great teacher.
Let me put it this way. It wasn't so much poverty. Let me put it this way. At the age of 6 and 7, I was already well read. At the age of 8, 9, I was deep in Greek mythology. You understand? So that tells you the kind. People now are looking at this, hearing about this movie and this book, the Odyssey, the Iliad. At 7 and 8, I was reading those things. So my impression of the world was already big by the time I hit 12 years old. I had an image of the world that the average person doesn't have because I was widely read.
So when those hormones started kicking in at that in those teenage years,
Yes.
They didn't overcome.
No, because I had then realized that it's about a mindset. It's about control. It's about, you see, this is why the women in my life, even though I've never tried to control them, we usually break up because women try to control men. That's the other part they don't tell us, you know. Women say, oh, men are trying to control us. But women are trying to control men too.
They use the word manipulation.
Yeah, right? And so by the time I reached where I was involved with women, I loved the woman I was involved with. But I had a point where I wasn't going to go beyond that. It wasn't going to be because you're a woman and you have a great body and you're sexually, you're going to. No, at a certain point I realized, why no? Well, this sex, if I have to go without the sex, you're going to go. But how many men can do that?
Many men, right, that's the whole point.
That's the thing.
Say, instinctively, most women can do that. Manipulation,
and you're almost 100% right.
Strong word, but I don't know.
It's nature. It's nature. Women. Why you think women are made the way? Whatever force created them with the bumps and the curves and the soft voice, and it's nature. Those are the things why we attract each other. But the man sees what we must understand. The Creator didn't give us a mind and a brain just to put it in our heads. We as human beings are supposed to elevate to a certain level. And that elevation means exerting control. And that is what most of us lack.
The thing about that too, again, another program that I was listening to this morning, they were lamenting the fact that the birth rate in the United States was falling dangerously low.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons they gave for that was the fact that we have too much of a distraction in our in our phones, right? And they don't create enough interpersonal communication and relationship.
Well, Chesley's shaking his head, so let me let Chesley come in. Let me let Chesley chime in there. Chesley, you got something to say on that?
That is like you tell me that Elon Musk ain't got 11 children, I mean, come on.
I disagree with that to Mr. McMahon.
Elon Musk has 11. So he wasn't on his phone and eyeball to screen.
It comes down.
Maybe he was, maybe he designed the product and lots of people design a product. And
no, there is a algorithm. I'm gonna say propaganda. I'm gonna say there's an algorithm now, okay, to have white women get more children.
Yeah.
Because there's this massive fear, right, that they're going to become a minority in North America.
Yeah.
So not only are they spewing this thing about children and not having enough children, really what they want to say is that white women are not having as many children as they want them to have to keep their population where they want it to be.
And I'm glad Chesley's, I'm glad.
No, Chesley, because Japan is having the same problem.
But Japan and they have been, and China, it was about a cultural thing to control their population. The one male child and so on, and then they realized that it's creating another problem.
They intentionally did that.
Right, so therefore, they are coming back around and saying, boy, let these natural processes take care of how we do this thing. But we have to use education. I mean, trust me, Chesley, I don't just follow trends. I am conceited and I am stubborn, right? And I'm going to use those two words. But I have had to realize by Chesley, if technology is going to leave you, you're either going to quit or you're going to have to adapt. So what do I have to do now? Everybody is dealing with artificial intelligence. The other day I went to use artificial, I went on my computer and I see something, right? It's supposed to be AI companion. Because I had been so resistant, stubbornly resistant to AI. I asked somebody in my office, what is Al companion? Because I thought it was AL. Don't laugh. But I was resistant towards using AI. Until I realized, boy, look, everybody is consulting AI and getting, whether ahead or using it as a tool. So, Chesley, you better get with the program and then start to then still use your brain.
Yeah.
So I'm just showing you, you could only resist some of these things so far. AI is going to be here. I see some of these countries are talking about they're going to ban 16-year-olds from using platforms and this and that. I wish them well.
Yeah.
I wish them well. Because the next generation is not waiting on them.
You understand?
The younger generation is not waiting on us to say what they can use and what they can't use. They are the ones pushing the bits and the bytes, and they're going to find ways and means, whether it's by their phone, whether it's in the darknet, whether it is on the computer, to bypass all of the legal restrictions that we are trying to put on them. Yeah. And hold on. They are going to be the majority of the voters soon. So when they think that they could control them and the baby boomers have passed on, those who want to be in office are going to still have to come back to them. So I am willing, listening, and I'm ready to laugh. Continue now.
No, I was going to say that's not unique to any particular generation, because in our generation, remember, there was this big thing about the cable TV and what it's going to do to our society, right? You can't stop it. you know, it's a waste of time trying to stop it. Okay, there were all kind of bans and so on, and then they just.
But it has had an effect though, and this again comes back. This again comes back, Mr. McMahon and Chesley Hamilton, to the fact that this is where the family unit is important, because where the family comes in is to instill in the child and the children and make them aware of the do's and the don'ts, the pros and the cons. And that is lacking now. So the children are just going out there and without any supervision, without any advice, and this is what we are having.
Well, we either end up, because anarchy is a system too, eh?
Yeah.
We either end up with that system, or we have some kind of control. I know the idea of control it's almost like a bad word, but if we leave it to let the chips fall where they may, so to speak, we might not be happy with the results, you know.
I agree. That's
teach
what
your
I
children
was referring
to think.
Yeah.
Teach them to think.
Yeah.
If you teach them to think and solve problems and into problem solving, your work would be finished. Your work will be done.
Yeah.
But if you don't teach them to think, you teach them to follow and to be subservient and so on, then you're doing them a disservice.
And they're going to miss and hit. They're going to miss and hit.
Yeah. You don't know where they're going to live.
There's also the pendulum, eh? I mean, when the pendulum swings too far, you bet your life it's coming back.
But that's what
teach them about balance. That's what you teach them to think.
Mr. McMahon, that is what I meant when I said they're going to learn by trial and error. You do not want them to be learning by trial and error.
That's a costly way to learn. Though.
Yeah.
Amen.
Very expensive way to learn.
Yeah.
Amen.
You know, because you're learning from mistakes.
That's it.
That's a poor way to learn.
Why would you want to do that?
That's it. So this is where the family comes in and proper parenting comes in. And this is where the male and the female comes in. You understand? But to go back to the point that you were making about the United States, and Chesley was shaking his head, let me put this in the mix. The divide and conquer has always been used. It was used to win and become kingdoms and this and that, and then it started to be used against your own people. And you started to divide male against female. And you bring it to the point where now you find a lot of women distrust men, a lot of men distrust women. Then you put into the mix what they call them, bis and homosexuals and people now who are transitioning, and all of that is the divide and conquer, you know.
I hear you, but you see, you don't blame me for using legal language, but and euphemisms and so on.
Yeah.
Quint, speak the truth. Follow the money. Quint, follow the money. It's about the money. And where they could have robbed and call them pirates on behalf of God and country, because the slavery divide was about what they can do in the name of God and country, you know.
Yeah.
And it's getting cheap labor.
Yeah.
Follow the money. And now what happened is you don't want white men, right, who are said to be the patriarchal society, and white women are now simply saying, oh, we don't want to be in the home, we are feminists, we want to control, we want to be business leaders, we want to be this now. So, okay, and when you have the white women out there, then some of them are marrying brown skin and black men, you don't want the assets to go.
Yeah.
Right? So you want them to have children where you could pass down the assets. Well, what are white men doing? Because white men realize, boy, all of us are not privileged. All of us can be captains of industry. So what do we have to do to keep the assets? Oh, if two of us get a civil union and a marriage, we could keep the assets here. Okay? So I am a gay man, a gay white man.
Yeah.
So therefore, as a gay white man, I could keep my assets here and get the benefits of a minority and get the benefits of still being white, privileged, and part of patriarchy. So I'm double dipping. Follow the money.
And
if you follow the money, you get the politics.
And the same with the women.
You know what
Follow the money.
If
If I'm a white woman, hold on. If I'm a white woman, I am a minority because of patriarchy, and you could I could accuse you of sexism. But hold on. I don't want to be part of a white straight couple because then I am part of the privilege and the oppressor class. I don't want to be that. So if I marry a white woman, I am now a minority. So I could get minority protection and keep my money, but still have the privileges of a white race and white. Follow the money. If you follow the money, you get the politics.
Chesley, hold a second. Mr. McMahon, hold a second. Chesley, I'm glad you brought up that point because, again, it comes back to realism. What Chesley is saying, all of the things that the blacks fought for in terms of civil rights and being a minority and the benefits, the white man found a way of benefiting and they benefited from them better than the people who fought for those, you know.
Amen.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. McMahon.
Yeah, I was just going to say, sounds simple enough, but you know what intervenes there?
What?
Good old-fashioned love.
Elaborate.
Are you both that cynical that you don't think that is a force in itself?
Elaborate. Wait, Mr. Chesley.
This is about love. This is about love and not following the money?
Chesley, wait a while.
But
before you go there, I don't want it to jump. I want him to explain what you mean by love. Break it down. What you mean by.
What I mean is you can't tell a man or a woman who to love, right? And the mere fact that they have so many interracial marriages suggests that there are forces that, yes, I agree, follow the money, that's fine, right? That's a very potent force in itself. But there are other things that intervene to make things not as simple as that.
So you still have me kind of puzzled. I don't want you to be vague, you know, we're grown people. So you're saying, are you suggesting that
would you marry a white woman?
No.
You consciously decide that you would never marry a white woman.
I did that since I was a child. Not that I don't like white women, but because I know my history and because I am very conscious of the let me finish. Because I'm very conscious of the Chesley kind of said it, you know. Here's a white individual keeping that money in his base. So why am I going to go out and spread it somewhere else when I can have a beautiful black woman and keep it in my base? What is wrong with that?
No, I'm not saying something is wrong with
it.
What I'm saying is, I don't see how you could categorically decide that you would.
Because I am me.
No, hold on. Okay, yes, you're you. But what I'm saying is there are qualities, I am sure there are a number of qualities, not no one quality, which affects who you get involved with.
Okay, hear this. Let me break it down like this. Even though I said to you that I would not marry a white woman, I have children. And I said to my sons and my daughter, even though I don't really want it to happen, but I said to them, look, whoever you go out there and you love, you love.
Exactly.
But that is them. But you're missing the point that this is me. During the course of my life, I was evolving to the point where I knew what I wanted.
And you were exposed.
That's it.
That is what I'm trying to understand. Why would you select? Because it seems
because as simple. Let me put it simple. I'm a black man who is attracted to his black women. As simple as that. And my black women are foremost in every aspect of my thought and my existence. I will never put any other woman ahead of my black woman.
Okay, and you're saying that race supersedes everything else about humanity.
It's not just
about
race.
human.
Because
you see.
But you see, hear this, Mr. Chesley. You see, this is where they keep using us, and it works. Because look at the Caucasian race and what they have done, and look how they have kept things in the white man mostly don't go for the black woman. You know, the white man, look back, do the statistics. And they would tell you the white man, this is why when Chesley made the point that now a lot of the white women are saying they want a brown man or a black man, the white man is incensed. He is angry because he felt he could abuse his woman, mistreat her, treat her like scum, keep her in the kitchen, and she would not rebel against it. But now that he realized that the white woman is attracted to a Caribbean black man, I'm specifically saying Caribbean because I'm a Caribbean man, and the Caribbean black man can cook, he can wash, he doesn't want to keep her in a home and keep her suppressed. He allows her to be whoever she wants to be, and she feels that level of freedom, and now he feels threatened. We got to be realistic. But we always, Mr. Chesley Hamilton, look at things from, oh, well, we are inferior, so what they do is right and what we do is wrong.
No. Where does inferiority come from?
Because you're saying to me, you're trying to suggest to me that me saying that I will not be involved or marry a white woman is something wrong. That is what you're suggesting?
I wouldn't use the word wrong.
Well, the way you go, that says it all.
No. What I'm saying, it's a strange parameter to use.
It's not a strange parameter. It's like me saying this. Let me put it further. I, as a man, can never be attracted to another man sexually. You heard that? So how how is it that I, as a man, know my manhood and I can say I cannot be attracted to a man, but you're saying that I can't say I cannot be attracted to a white woman? What is the difference?
No.
It's me coming to a
Let me tell you the difference. Let me tell you the difference, right? The difference is that in the first place, it's unnatural. Well, and that might be controversial too, but it's unnatural. Kind of union that you're talking about between two males or two females.
Yes.
That is unnatural.
I thought you talking about the word love.
I'm saying.
I thought he was talking about the word love.
But then again, that's a whole nother contradiction there. You know.
Where is the contradiction?
Because again, it comes down to I cannot love a man.
Amen.
Yeah, okay.
I just cannot.
But what I'm saying, you're going against a natural, what do you call a natural phenomenon?
Yeah.
I don't know. They ain't gonna tell you that.
Well, to me, it's a natural. To me, it is also a natural phenomenon for me to be attracted to my Mr. McMahon. It is also for me. It might not be for you. And like I said, my sons can. I'm going to be honest. I'm a realist. I don't beat around the bush, you know. I do not want, listen to me, I am not looking forward to one of my sons coming home with a white woman and saying, Dad, this is my woman. But if he does, I'm going to embrace it. I'm not going to go against it one iota. All I'm going to say to him is, son, you love her? You seriously love her? And if he looks me in the eye and he says yes, that's his life. He must live his life. So you're saying that he has a right to live his life and I don't have a right to live mine? And my right is that I am not attracted to a white woman. It's as simple as that. You may be attracted to, and I don't have a problem with it. You love her? Okay. You think you can live together and be happily ever after? Okay. But that is not for me. And there's no controversy about it. It's just a basic.
I must look up. I must look up the definition of bigotry.
Yeah. So you're calling me a bigot now?
No. Look, all I said, I must look up the definition of bigotry because bigotry has no reasoning behind it. I think, well.
So with all that I tried to explain, you're telling me there's no reason to it? You're saying, when I say to you that I, as a human being, growing up as a child, being subjected to life and my history, have come to the conclusion that the woman for me is the black woman, you're saying to me I am irrational?
No, that's an experience. But I'm talking about the actual, when you look at the logic of it and what really goes on between relationships, there really is.
Hold on.
A side show.
Mr. McMahon.
Anyway.
Mr. McMahon.
Guys, I gotta go.
But I want you to go with this one. I want you to tell me if love is irrational or rational.
Irrational. It's irrational.
Oh,
okay.
So now you bring it home.
It just happened. You could say tomorrow that I can fall in love with this girl going down the road. There's no rational thing in that.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Okay, all right.
But I gotta go.
Okay. But I'm happy. Happy Father's Day when it comes. I'm happy that Quint shows you that he has a mind to control the irrationality of all the things that are going around him.
Yeah. And we all have that mind too. Yeah.
And if Quint love older women, or Quint love black women, or Quint you know, all of those sort of things, is the fact that Quint know who he is and what he wants.
That's it. So simple. But hear this, Mr. McMahon.
And I'll go further. Quint. Mm-hmm. There's some of us who would say, I am not marrying a woman from the U.S., from a continent, from another island. I prefer a Kitchen woman. I don't care whether she is more educated than me or whatever. If I'm going to marry somebody, it's going to be a Kitchen woman.
Yeah.
Because I am not marrying a woman from X country and then my family is torn when she decides she's going back to X or whatever. I want a woman that, fine, even if my children and me and she fall out and she decides to go to St. Paul's, at least we on the same island.
Yeah. I kind of am like that. But here's the thing, though. I was involved with a particular woman, and then I knew, as far as I knew, she grew up here. But then when I became involved with her, then she told me that she was born in Antigua.
Wow.
Right? And that, even though, Chesley, I'm going to be honest, even though, man, I love that woman, but there was a back part of my brain that was always bothering me that she wasn't a Kitchen. So you see the conundrums we can find ourselves in?
Right, but that's the sort of rationality that you bring to your decision making. And if everybody want to say it's insular or it's narrow or whatever, the fact is that it is
who I am,
informed by your history and your experiences.
Yeah. But hear this, Mr. Chesley. For all those 400 years when the white man was at the top and he would come and he had his white wife, right? And she was just the figurehead and he was the head of the plantation. But he would just, whenever he wanted to pick one of those beautiful black slaves, put them in a particular part of the house, of the great house, and go and have sex with her, right? And next thing, she got children. And he would take those very children and put them out to be either slaves. It all went by what he felt.
Man, he had the mother first inside there cooking, then he tell her bring her daughter.
That's
and then
it.
he have the daughter back there and so on. Because he was cock of the rock.
Yeah. So why don't we look back? And it's because of me knowing all of this history why I decided my black woman is for me. Yeah. If you don't know your history and you feel you want to just go and dilute it, that's up to you. I do not.
And it's not for lack of opportunity of being out there. I went to school with them.
Yeah.
You understand me? I went to school with them. I was in the class, something in the class going 180. You understand me? And there are two of us.
Mm-hmm. And I'm the reason why I'm glad you brought it up, because when I speak these things, people tend to think that I am being prejudiced. No, I love everybody, but me loving everybody.
I don't drink white wine and I don't even want mayonnaise.
Well, there's a certain level of prejudice, but it's not about hate. It's not about hate. Okay, I do not hate white people, but knowing the history that we went through with white people, I am very cautious about them and around them, and we should be. It is because we lack that caution why we always keep falling in their traps. Because, for instance, Trump right now is saying he capitulate and he say, Iran this and blah, blah, blah. You think he loves the Iranians? You think if they got a chance where they could tomorrow destroy the Iranians, they would not use it? Why you think
destroy the whole civilization, as he said?
That's it.
But what a lot of people didn't understand about Iran is this. Iran and Iraq fought for 8 years. 8 long years during the 80s. Who was supporting Iraq?
America.
United States and Russia.
Yeah.
United States and Russia. And they had missiles going back and forth for 8 long years.
Because, as you say, follow the money. It was about selling arms and
Iran withstand that. So how Trump think that he would walk in one night, like in Venezuela, boom, 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 and then Iran capitulate? Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Live in a realistic world, my friend.
And the fact that up to this morning, Israel is bombing Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
Let them go ahead.
Yeah. Hello?
Let them go ahead.
Go ahead, Greg.
Yes. Yes, I forgot to say the last first of the car, but happy Father's Day to everybody, both you and Chesley, Quinn, both you and Chesley, and to all the male listeners out there who are fathers.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day to them Sunday coming.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
Yes. Two things I'd like to say quickly. First of all, there's no perfect situation, okay? Okay, but I used to work in an office, okay? And trust me, it's amazing to see what women who say they have boyfriend and women who are married. Certain of them, it's very interesting to see certain of them, how they will quickly lie down for promotion, because they favor somebody, because he's very popular, and so on and so on and so on. As bad as the home situation is, and I know of stories as well concerning homes. Just the other fellow was telling me how this woman was married, and when the husband gone, another man used to come. So I know of those stories as well.
But Greg, I'm saying that men are not any different.
Well, you take a man and a woman.
I agree with you.
Yeah, men are not any different.
How
many men out there have beautiful wives at home, doing they can't complain, and yet they go in an environment and they succumb because what? Men want promotion. When men want promotion too, and if your boss is a woman and she gonna promote you, you think you can be discreet. You think so. It works both. Ways.
I agree, but what I'm saying, the man supposed to be the provider at the home, so you're supposed to be out there working. But what I'm saying is that when the woman join it as well, it does not bode good. It does not bode well. And I think this is one of the main causes of the breaking down of society. And I think it is even worse when you got women working for their favorite politician, be it married or unmarried women.
You know,
women are very quick to let down on their favorite politicians.
Stop just saying, I hear you, but we don't want to malign women because, like I said, men are
No,
just
I'm
the
not
same.
saying all.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, but
Yeah.
too many are who are married.
But here
are
this,
too willing to
but
do
here
that.
this, Chesley. Here's another breakdown why women can go out there and be career women and come back home and contribute to the home if they plan it. But here's the other part of it why we're falling down. We're taking our older people, and rather than having that family environment where once ago a woman could go, you think women weren't cutting cane and all that kind of stuff, but you had your mother home there, you had some older aunts and so on and so forth, and those children were in an environment where they were still in the home setting. But you now put your older people in homes and all kind of stuff, and yeah, you don't have no extended family. So you don't have the village raising a child anymore. You understand? And you now go and you pay this load of money. Mind you, people want employment, but you're now paying people to look after your child. And those people who are looking after your child have 50, 60 other children, and they cannot put the kind of input that the family home, and your grandmother and your
nanny,
you understand?
Governor,
So
the governess.
So those are the breakdowns of our society.
I am telling you. I'm telling you.
Yeah, Greg.
Yes, the other issue now, okay? Let me clear it for Chesley. I was reading an article on the Times Caribbean online website, okay, which is also associated with the St. Kitts.
The PLP, right?
Yeah, okay. Anyhow, it's St. Kitts Nevis Daily News Channel. So they have an article says that the head of the article is entitled St. Kitts Nevis legal drama ends after 33 years. Privy Council delivers landmark warning against inordinate delay in Beard and Golga. And you know Beard, Wycliffe Beard, who the land issue was major, eh?
Oh, okay. I know that.
Yeah.
Right. And the Privy Council came down with a ruling just recently, apparently from what I'm reading from the article. Okay? So I'm saying you know of the Privy Council, right? The ruling that they made on this issue?
Well, it doesn't seem like Chesley knew about that.
I know the case. I just have to go and read the article. I mean, the case. I will go and read it. I know of the case. I know of how long it's been going on. I know with Wycliffe Beard, I know what is being going on with his lands over on the peninsula. I know the case. I just didn't know that the ruling is out.
So, Greg, you're suggesting that the Privy Council has made a ruling that this extended period of dragging on these cases is wrong?
Okay. In this particular case, in this article I'm reading, apparently, once the article is accurate, Beard lost the case, okay?
Oh.
No, the ruling came down that, hey, a lot of wrong delay was done. It was not in the best interest of this prolonging was not in the best interest of justice, the process of justice, because things that should not have been delayed was delayed, and
so why
things
did
that
he
was
lose?
supposed to be done was not done.
So why did he lose then?
Because that is what the Privy Council said. On his side, a lot of unjustified delays was made.
So he was the one doing the delaying?
Things that was supposed to file on time wasn't filed on time.
So he was the one doing. So he was the one doing the delaying.
Yes, that is.
Okay, that is what I wanted to be clear on. Yeah. So then I understand why he lost then. So there's
with a proper excuse and that sort of stuff.
Okay, that is what I wanted to be clear on. You understand?
Yes. But the article seems to be saying, hey, this is a message for all the West Caribbean lords, including those in St. Kitts, that these delays that they're doing in the courts and so um, um, this ruling touches and those as well, because a lot of these delays are unjustified and without proper excuses and
And one of
lateness and that sort of stuff.
and one of the reasons why they delay is to exhaust the finances of the opponent, because they know that you're going to run out of monies to have lawyers and blah blah blah. Governments do it a lot. Governments know that they have the coffers, they have the finances, and so they drag out these cases because they know it's only a matter of time I'm going to run out of money. So yeah, okay.
Right, and then know you the poor man. Then know you the poor man. You ain't got the money.
Yeah.
You don't have the money. Well, I was trying to look for a part here, but it seems it's very interesting when you're trying to look for something, you can't find it when you're trying to look for it.
So is Beard a lawyer?
No, Beard is a doctor, a black Kittitian doctor in Toronto, Wycliffe Beard, and he had some land over on the peninsula, and I think that the government seized his land, and those lands were probably dealt for a public purpose, which is tourism. And I think all of that is going on. I don't think that I want to feel like it's an interim part of the case that reached that far and not the full case.
Okay.
So I like I said, I have to go and read and see what part reached the Privy Council, because that's a case with many moving parts.
Okay.
So I have to really go and read the case.
Yeah. Well, I realize by Chesley's reluctance, and even looking at him now, you could see he's kind of thinking. So he wants to be able to reference certain things and research certain things, refresh certain things before he elaborates on it.
You don't normally have interim matters going up, but that far, you have the ultimate case. But I know that case had parts of it that were going up and coming back down to the Court of Appeal and so on. That case had many moving parts.
Okay.
So that's why I want to know if it's the full case that went that far, or one of those moving parts, interim orders that went that far. So I have to go and read it to make sure that I understand it before I compliment on
But Greg, I'm kind of puzzled because I'm wondering why would the person who owns the land and is having a discrepancy with the government, why would they be delaying and that kind of stuff so that he lose? I would assume that it would have been the other party who would be delaying. So I'm kind of puzzled.
Go ahead.
That is what the article said, that was his side that was delaying without proper justification and reason. And not only that, apparently as well, another part in the article said that the court said that the transaction for the money that he was supposed to pay up, wasn't completed. So that, I think, was also another reason contributed to it. And remember also as well, I think the Caribbean court had strike it out. They appealed from what I read from the article. They went to the Privy Council, and Privy Council said they found the reasoning of the Caribbean courts to be justified.
Okay.
For I think striking it out. The case.
Well, I'm not. This is the first I'm hearing about it. But
yeah, it is provided that the article is reporting the matter accurately, of course. So I guess Chelsea would read up on that, and maybe if I get a chance to ask him next week, he might have a lot more to say on that issue.
Not next week, the week after.
Oh, whenever. Once God's paid it, whenever.
Okay.
You might be able to educate us some more. Thank you very much.
Okay. We have just about 3 more minutes left before.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say that the World Cup is ongoing. Certain things are happening. The host countries are doing well. But some of the things that are bothering me, the Uruguay team was stopped, and they had to be taken. They took them off of their bus and searched them like common criminals and so on. And I don't know how you be doing.
All of that is part of the psychology of making the players not have that mindset. These people know what they're doing, They're traveling back and forth by plane and all of that.
That FIFA, wherever you hear a host country, you could imagine Sri Lanka come here, and when they leave Warner Park, the drug squad pull them over, have them at the side of the freaking road, shaking them down.
It's harassing.
I mean, you believe that would happen in the Caribbean? But the FIFA is allowing these things to go on in the USA. The Iran team has to come in, play the day before, play in the US, and leave the same night to go back to Mexico.
Yeah, all this nonsense.
And that they are allowed to be a host. I am simply saying, the United States hasn't hosted the World Cup in 22 years. But with behavior like this, it should be 44.
Yeah.
It should be 44 years before the USA hosts another World Cup.
And hear this, Chesley. The FIFA said, which we don't kind of disagree, FIFA said to Haiti, you can't put anything political on your jersey because Haiti wanted to represent, their history. But the same head of FIFA gives Donald Trump an award for peace. So you understand? Okay. Donald Trump is the sitting head of a government, and FIFA, a football sporting body, gives him a peace prize.
And he's invading Iran.
Yeah. So you see the double standard?
But if I were in charge of Haiti, I would have taken off the things for that war. I mean,
they took them off.
Listen, I would take them off, but listen what I would have put on. I would have put on an image of a mosquito. Because remember, they say it's yellow fever that killed out Napoleon thing, eh? Yeah. It's the mosquito bites that they got. It wasn't it wasn't the.
But Haiti knew what they were doing.
They
just wanted to set a point, and they won on that because the world now is aware of what their intention.
The Haitian Revolution.
Yeah.
But I would have put on a mosquito since it's the mosquito that defeated Napoleon, and not the black people in Haiti. I would have put on an image of a mosquito.
Yeah.
Let's say if that would have been more politically correct.
Yeah.
So I know some topics you don't really want me to get going because some things get under my skin easier than others.
Well, yeah.
You know that.
Yeah.
And miscasting history is one of those things.
Yeah.
So in the cricket aspect of the sport, because I said I will speak about the lighter side of the news, which is the weather and sports and so on. We just spoke a bit about the World Cup and one or two things that are bothering me. I will go to the.
But we're out of time right now.
I know we're out of time.
Yeah. So we'll have to put that forward.
What his name is coming? Sri Lanka is coming to Antigua and so on to play Test cricket, and the West Indies team is there. And somebody might want to comment if Ralston Chase should still be the captain, and what are the prospects of the West Indies cricket team as they go into the Test phase of that tour. Yeah. Lastly, again, I come back to the rainfall and the droughts and so on, and I hope that we get a little bit more rain. And I hope that you are prepared. You are prepared for the hurricane season.
Yeah.
I hope that you are prepared to build resilience into your home, whether it is by having your cistern or your emergency generator and things like this. And the government should help you, whether to subsidize or to make these things duty-free and so on, or extend the policy to help you to build those resilience into your home, even when it comes to storm shutters and so on. I'm just hoping for all these things. We are out of time.
Yeah.
Happy Father's Day to all the fathers and potential fathers. And I hope that next time I come back, it will be probably after music festival and so on. But I hope that everybody enjoy the festive season and we'll be a good host to those who are visiting our shores.
Yeah.
God bless and have a great weekend.
Same here.
You found the sound. 98.9. Win FM.
Now loans, cash at the speed of life, so fast you won't believe it. Now loans, cash at the speed of life, right now, right now. If you need cash in a flash with now, no need to fuss, leave it to us. When you need cash in a flash. No need to fuss, leave it to us. Hear me now. Now loans, cash at the speed of life. So fast you won't believe it. Now loans, cash at the speed of life. Right now, right now. Approved in a day, yeah, yeah. Some money on the way, yeah, yeah. Approved in a day, oh, yeah, you know it's coming.
When life throws surprises your way, now's here to help. Whether it's for an urgent bill payment, home improvements, or unexpected health expenses, or even that last-minute holiday trip. With Now, you get cash in a flash, approved in just 24 hours.
Approved in a day, yeah, yeah. Some money on the way, yeah, yeah. Approved in a day, oh, yeah, you know it's coming. Now loans, cash at the speed of life. So fast you won't believe it. Now loans, cash at the speed of life. Right now, right now.
A loan product powered by National Bank.
Did you know that the Grange Healthcare Facility is the first purpose-built, non-governmental healthcare